welcome everybody. We're getting let everybody log on here. We're running back-to-back webinars today, so it's been a super crazy and very active. We did an event over the weekend in Atlanta. We had an Atlanta workshop. It was awesome. A lot of you on the call were actually there, so you know about it. But it was cool, man. Getting to meet everybody and do some real world role playing and to be active and be able to see other people do their pitches. We signed it up. We put everybody into groups of 3, and everybody else, they did their pitch on a certain product, and you were able to watch what other people did, positive and negative, and then you were able to do your own. So, and then other people were able to watch you. So you got to pick up a lot of positives, watching some good things that other people did, and you're able to see the negatives. Okay, I'll never do that ever. watching other people make mistakes, but it was really cool. So we're doing I'm doing a 6-part webinar here. It's going to be on how to become a closer, and we're going to go through a couple things, and I'll show you the topics for the courses. Each module, there's no time frame for each module. Some might be 30-40 minutes, some might be 2 hours. I'm open, but one thing that I want to do is I want to have some heavy role play. I want to make a lot of people live. I requested that everybody at least have a mic to be on to this call. The reason why I want to do that is because I want you to, whether you're in Atlanta or not, I want you to see and hear the way other people do their pitches and the way they do their closing and the way they do their meet and greets and the way they do their getting past the gatekeeper, right? So that way you can learn what to do or what to never do, right? So just everybody let me know you can hear me okay, and we'll get this recording started. Let me get this where I can see all the questions. Something I learned just recently. A lot of people are on iPad. That's okay. Audio's good to see you. Dr. Keith, welcome. Brad Dixon, how you doing, buddy? Andrea, good to see you. Terrence, glad to see you made it. I was just texting with Terrence. Mike Shipman says I sound a little broken. Maybe that's the Alabama internet connection, Mike. We don't know, but let me know if it sounds bad. Rick Lowry, good to see you, buddy. I got to meet Rick over the weekend. Really cool guy. Tony Joseph doesn't miss a call, man. Works for Google. Jason Whitman, man, good to see you, man. That's a blast from the past. When's the last time I saw you, Jason? I think we were at Mario's event, maybe in San Diego. But yeah, Terrence is getting to use his new mic that he got from the workshop. Hopefully so. I'm excited. I thought that was a really cool mic. I secretly kind of wanted it myself. But Mike B, what's up, buddy? Oh, we're in Fort Lauderdale. Okay, Jason. I know we saw each other a couple times there for a second. All right, good. So everybody can hear me okay? We'll get this thing started. Talking about how to become a closer. We're going to go into what we're going to actually study. What we're going to how we're going to study and what the next 6 modules are going to be. I'm going to have recordings of all these modules. No need to ask. Of course, we're professionals. We record everything. Only reason why we don't ever have a recording is because the recording failed or something happened. Brian and I are just not the type to ever say, be on this call, there won't be a recording. I mean, scarcity works. I understand why people do it. It does. It does work, and I'll help train and teach you how to use scarcity in closing, but with training, I just personally don't want to train that way. So we'll never have something that you don't get the recording, where we're not going to give you the recording because you didn't make a call, okay? The first module, we're going to talk about gatekeeper. A lot of you maybe have heard my module I did within the auto course on how to get past the gatekeeper, but it's a necessity to get in, to land the meeting, to the road to sale, to get to the actual close. So the first module and what we're going to talk about today is talking about getting past the gatekeeper, okay? And we're going to do some role play, and I'm going to give you the ways that I do it, some some secrets that I use. Some of you may remember them. Some of you may be already using them. But I'm going to show you some ways to get past the gatekeeper, and that's what we're going to talk about today. Module 2, we're strictly going to talk about landing a meeting. We're going to role play on that also. We're going to talk about when meeting with somebody, whether you're going to do a face-to-face meeting and or a Google Hangout or a groups meeting. The bottom line is you are going to need a meeting, and a lot of times when you're meeting for the first time, you don't want to go in and try and sell somebody your very intricate, detailed product that you're going to enforce for them. You want to just try and sell the meeting, and then you'll go into all the details while you're sitting face-to-face with the guy. You don't want to be talking about all that stuff over the phone because it's too easy not to understand. Plus, 65% of people are what? Kinetic. They like to see things. They're visual learners. So you want to be in front of them so you can show them something, or have them on a Google Hangout so you can show them something, or a go-to meeting, or however you're going to choose to do it. So you want to appease the majority, and that's the positive of having a meeting. Road to a sale. No matter what you're selling, no matter if you're selling, products that we teach you, in the automotive niche, no matter if you're selling shoes to a shoes salesman, no matter what you're selling, there's always the road to the sale. So whenever you know that you're going to sell something, whether it's now or in the future or whenever, there's going to be a road to the sale. There's a psychology. There's a push. There's a path that you must take, and if you take a shortcut, you'll find yourself closing less deals. So it's very, very, very important for us to study the road to the sale. Number 4, the most important part about closing a customer, where, pardon me, a lot of people think it's using one-liners and closes and manipulation and convincing people of what you need to convince them of in order to close the deal. Well, it's not. It's nothing that comes out of your mouth that closes a customer. It's listening. God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason, and if you'll learn to listen properly and listen to what people have to say, then they're going to tell you exactly what they want to hear in order for you to sell them. So that's super, super important. And learning the pains for module number 4 is something that I want to spend a whole module on, because I think it's that important to becoming a closer. Okay. Number 5, we're going to talk about solutions. How you can listen to their pains and then deliver the solution. As you start to deliver solutions, there's certain ways to deliver them that will put you or position you as an expert in your field. So you want to be able to deliver the solutions. And then number 6, we're going to work on actual closes. So I'm going to show you some different techniques, some different ways. We did them over the weekend. A lot of people laughed, but I think I stumped David Sprague while he was there, when he thought he had a way that wasn't going to ever get any way to bump, and I showed him exactly how you bump somebody in price. And we're going to discuss a lot of things like that on closes. Okay. All right. So to get started, I want you to notice that the whole module is about how to become a closer, but notice that only one module is actually talking about closes. Being a closer is not remembering all these rebuttals and closes. Being a closer is learning to listen to your customer, learning to listen to who you're speaking to, learning to listen to your coach, or listen to your wife, or listen to your husband, listen to your customer. You're going to find yourself getting your way a lot more than you did before, just by learning to listen. So that's why only one module out of the 6 is going to be on true closing. Okay, let's start here. I always want to remind people. A lot of you know that I've talked in past webinars. I had a lady that lived across the street where I grew up. I grew up in a log home on an old road called Oleander Drive in Lilburn, Georgia. And the lady that owned all the property, whose family actually owned the plantation where all the property was, name was Granny Cates. And Her name was, her name, I told you, Granny Cates, but she was 94 years old. I would get off the school bus and see her sitting over on her porch, and a lot of times I wouldn't run down the driveway to my house. I'd go see Granny Cates for a little bit and talk with her. And she was very coherent. She wasn't losing her mind or you know, not with us at all. She was extremely witty and super simple. And I used to love to sit there and talk with her because her wisdom, although simple, was gold to me. You know, she had the answers to so many questions that that I had at that point in life, and that I probably would have this day if I had the fortune to talk to her. But it was just in a simpler delivery than the complex delivery that we have turned this world into, right? So when I think of that, I always think of Woody Allen, another old man, who said it so easy in one sentence. He told us, don't forget, 80% of life is showing up. So getting out there, getting out beyond your comfort zone, getting out there and making things count, getting out there and trying things and figuring things out, you're going to find yourself doing things that you never thought was possible. You're going to find yourself all of a sudden one day is going to look at you and say, yeah, but you're great at closing. You're going to remember back to when you took this course and you thought you could never close, right? And because you got out there and showed up and put yourself out there to do it, you're going to find yourself a lot more experience at things you didn't know you had in you. Let's talk about what is winning. What is the mindset of sales? Let's talk about what angle we want to take and what kind of mindset we want to give ourselves before even stepping into this world of closing people, right? Let me ask a quick question. I hate to refer to this, but it does, closing deals and sales is a lot like picking up men or women in a bar. It really is. I'm sorry to use that as a reference, but it just relates to that. I think we all at one time or another or might currently still be doing, you know, going to a bar or going to an event and, you know, you see a cute girl or a cute guy and you really kind of, you know, want to meet them or whatever, right? So let's talk about the mindset. Let's talk about what is exactly winning, okay? Is winning and are a lot of you on the call this type of person? Until somebody shows you, without a doubt, guaranteed information that they're interested in what you have to offer, you would never in a million years take a chance of embarrassing yourself and asking for the date, right? Unless you're 100% sure that this girl likes you, right? You're not the guy that's going to go and hit on every single girl in the bar, or get slapped or get rejected or get made fun of or whatever you think in your mind that people are gonna do, right? You're that person that's going to wait until you got a sure thing, and then you're going to be calculated and you're going to go for it, and then you're going to ask the girl out. And most of the time she says yes because you waited until you were so sure that she was going to say yes, you got the date. And maybe you go out to the bar for 5-6 weekends in a row before you actually meet and see that one girl that's going to say yes, and you've got your guaranteed in, right? Is that a lot of people on this call? Is that the type of approach that a lot of us have because you don't want to have that rejection? Then you got the other guy, right? The guy that goes out and tries to dance with every single girl in the bar, hits on every single girl, including the married ones, you know, tries to, you know, make friends with every single person, right? But he always seems to meet somebody every single night when he goes out. But in a way, he's kind of embarrassing, right? Because he's going around and he's meeting, you know, he says these things and he just like, he lets it be known he wants the business, right? He lets it be known that he's there to meet and mingle, right? So it's a little bit, in a way, embarrassing for those of us that are more conservative, and you just don't know that that's the angle that you would want to go in, right? You're going to be calm, collective, and calculated and wait until you find that person that's, you know, that you know for a fact kind of winks at you, and then you know, okay, I'm going in for the kill, and this is the person I'm going to meet, right? there's two different kinds of people. That's the two different types. Now, the person that's asking everybody and really going out of their comfort zone and laying it all out there, they meet somebody every weekend. The other type of person goes out there and maybe meets one person every 6 weeks. Who was the winner? Who was winning in that? Who was the one that was who was the one that was meeting the most girls? Right? Because that was kind of the deal, right? The socializer. Same thing in sales. And I'm personally not the kind of guy that hits on every single girl that I meet when I go out. I'm a little bit of the in the meeting girl scenario. I'm a little bit more calculated on my meeting, but I did realize probably halfway through college that if I wasn't the guy that went out and tried to make friends and asked for the date, or asked for the dance, you're never going to get a girl to dance, right? And then I had buddies that were out there asking every girl to dance, and they would dance with 1, 2, 3, 4 girls a night, and they got the point across. That's a little bit of the same mindset that I want you to have in sales. If you sit back and wait for the ideal scenario, you wait for you to have a friend that knows a friend that can connect you with, that friend that can get you in front of that car dealer, you're not going to be successful in sales with that mentality, even if you have that mentality in other aspects. You got to be fearless. You got to be ready to be made fun of. You got to be ready to be laughed at. You got to be ready to be criticized, and you have to be ready to lay it out there, let somebody you want the business. And at the end of the day, of all the people that were like, no, I'm not interested, no, I don't want to dance with you, does it really matter at the end when you got the one girl that you're dancing with? Are you really thinking of all those people that said no? You're not. Same thing in sales. Bottom line, at the end of the whole fiasco, at the end of your whole month of prospecting, you're not going to remember how many people kicked you out. You're not going to remember how many people said they're busy, please come see me later. You're not going to remember the people, all the pains and rejections that you had. All you're going to remember is the 4 or 5 deals that you have right now giving you checks. So I need you to get ready and to kind of put your head into that mindset, the mindset of, I've got nothing to lose. I've got only one direction to go, and that's to close deals. At the end of this month of prospecting, I'm gonna have a client, or I'm gonna die trying. Right? You ready to lay it out there for us? So, does everybody kind of understand the mindset I'm talking about? I'm gonna look at some questions here and see some statements. Tell me if you understand exactly what I'm talking about. Yes. Fat kid chasing the ice cream man. That's right. You gotta be willing to ask the girl to dance. Take no prisoners. Hey Sherm, how you doing, buddy? Loud and clear, BJ. Completely, Mike. Good. Cheryl, yes. Good. Terrence, okay. Mike. All right, good. That's the mindset that we need moving forward here. So let's talk about getting past the gatekeeper and the approach. All right. So when you're approaching a gatekeeper and you want to consider 2 different things. One, you want to get past them fast, because any of them that hang you up are just going to keep you from getting your ultimate amount of pitches. 1. 2, you still want to come across professional, and it never hurts to establish a little bit of rapport with the receptionist, because you'd be surprised. And I see Mike's on the call. Michael will attest to this. Who knew what was going on in the dealership at all times? That receptionist. She knew who was sleeping with who was going to get fired. She knew when the owner came in the back door and the GM was in a meeting. She knew where everybody was at any given second. So by all means, do you never want to be rude or to treat that person like less than an equal or less than a human, that some people tend to do at times, which is a sure way of failure. You want to make sure that you you treat her with professional, or her or him, with professionalism, and you want to make sure if you get an opportunity to build rapport with them also. However, if they slow you down or they box you out of being able to make your pitch, then you've costed yourself opportunities to close. So it's very important to get past the gatekeeper. Now, let's talk about approach real quick. So when I walk in, this is my goal on getting past any type of receptionist or, you know, office manager or whatever you want to call them. I've told y'all several times, I've worked with y'all on some other numbers. I think you can change something as simple as one word or two words at the end, and you're going to find yourself getting magnificent better results, right? You're going to find yourself, when you call in and you say, hey, you're going to do a little bit of research, obviously, I hope. And you're going to find yourself, you're going to do a little bit of research and find out their name. So when you're calling in, you're going to say, Brian Anderson, please, right? Because that's what a lot of people do. Can I speak to Brian Anderson, please? And what has that person been trained to do? What has that person been instructed to do, and what does she do or he do every day of their lives in that position? They try and detect bullcrap or, you know, people just trying to waste their boss's time, right? They run interference. They're out there, they're blocking. They're damn middle linebackers, right? Well, when you go at them and you say, hey, can I please talk to Brian Anderson, you kind of come at a position of weakness, and that would give them the moment or opportunity to then question your intentions and say, well, who are you and what are you calling for? Who may I say is calling, correct? So a lot of times you want to call in with that kind of persona or that feeling that you've talked to them, or maybe you just got off the phone with them and you're calling them back, right? Because it'll get you through better. So what I've learned and what I've taught in past trainings is use the word thank you instead. Instead of calling in saying, can I speak to Brian Anderson, please? You're going to say, can I speak to Brian Anderson? Thank you. You're still just as professional. You were courteous. You still showed them respect by saying thank you, but by saying the word, can I speak to Brian Anderson, thank you, it's a cutoff. You're ending the conversation. You thank them for their services, so therefore you're naturally led to then just move to your next service, right? Forward you over to the next person, and he was nice enough to say thank you, so they'll forward you to Brian Anderson. Does everybody see how those two words? I know some people have actually used this already, hearing me say it before, and said that they've been doing really well with it, using it. Let's see the questions real quick. I'll blow them up. Dr. Keith Schaefer said, Sid, I found can I speak to Brian Anderson, to Brian, thank you, works even better than Brian Anderson, thank you. Yeah, sure. Use the first name. Don't use the last name like you're not formal with them. You make it sound like you're on a first name basis. I agree. Great statement there, Doctor. Cheryl says, yes, I've always used the first name. That's additional. That's additional gold for us to look at also. Yeah, always use the first name. So you would say, hey, how you doing? Can I speak to Brian? Thank you. You know, and that sounds good. All right. Sounds good. All right, cool. We're learning from everybody already. This is good. Before I go into the second part of this, I want to hear a couple people role play it, if you don't mind. Let's just practice it. I want to give who out there has a mic that is willing to role play a little bit. Okay, Doctor, let's get you on. I like proactive people. That's good. All right, let's see here. Hey, Doctor.
Hey, can you hear me?
What's happening, buddy?
I'm just keeping the government running here.
That's right. You have a government job, don't you?
Yeah, I'm a security, well, I'm a Unix system administrator keeping DNS running here at Social Security Administration.
Oh wow, yeah, we talked about that. My father was a Unix engineer. He worked with 3B20s and some older machines. He worked with the Bell Company for a long time.
Very cool.
Yeah, I actually had the privilege to go into some of those like 51 Ivy and some big Bell South buildings where they, you walked in on the computer floors and all that stuff. That was it was really neat to see.
Yeah, my dad used to work for Rigid Tool in Belgium, and on Saturday mornings he used to take me in. I used to get to load up the old 256K washing machine disk packs and load punch cards and play Star Trek on the mainframe.
That's great. He told me a story one time that they hired a company to figure out how to get past the security of entering those rooms because they had the card where you had to swipe it and it allowed you and counted that you were walking in those rooms. And the security team figured out that if you walked up with a tray of food and asked somebody to swipe the key for them, that people would swipe being cordial, right? And that was the security breach that they found, that you should not swipe even if somebody's holding the tray of food or have their hands full.
Yeah, pizza gets your way past most computer guys.
Right? That's great. So let's practice, Keith. Let's practice a little bit. Your general manager's name is obviously Syd Michael. You're calling in, and I'll be the gatekeeper, and let's see how you would get past it. Okay.
Okay.
And it'll be quick and easy because this is not super long, but I like to practice it and get everybody familiar with it. So, all right. So I'll answer the phone. Are you having a great day? Are you calling about the big sale at Rick Case Mitsubishi?
Hi. Can I speak with Syd, please? Or thank you, actually.
All right, man. We're gonna keep practicing. All right. So, who's this? Who's calling? What are you calling for? Right.
Hi, this is Dr. Keith Schaefer. I'm trying to get through to Syd. We were speaking earlier, and I needed to get reconnected to him.
There you go. You're taking another shot at it. That's okay. Let's start over one more time, and let's see what it sounds like to say thank you, okay?
All right. Ring,
Hi.
ring.
Are you calling about the big sale for Rick Case Mitsubishi?
No. Can I speak to Syd? Thank you.
See how that sounds? It just puts you right through, right?
They pass me right through every time since I've been doing that.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. All right, cool. I just wanted to see you practice and hear how you sound. I appreciate you going live with us. Are they got you locked out right now with the government, or?
I'm a contractor, so I'm paid till the end of December. That's when my job goes in jeopardy, which is why I'm joining you guys to spin up my second career here.
Yeah, well, good. You always got to plant and water your seed, and hopefully it'll work out for you, man. All right, buddy. I look forward to seeing you more on future calls, man.
All right, brother.
Take care. All right, cool. All right. So, does everybody see and understand and hear how the thank you is more, like Mike said, is more of a statement, where please comes across as a question? Everybody kind of hear that and see how that's gonna work for them? That's gonna make a huge difference. Let's talk about the second part about it. He's not available. Can you leave a message, right? So anytime you're forced to leave a message, or you have to say, kind of give your elevator pitch, you don't want to say, yeah, tell him it's Syd calling and he's got a bad reputation, but I've got the way around it. I've got this cool portal that'll, you know what I mean? It just doesn't work. And so many people try and do their elevator pitch in a message. So I'm going to tell you exactly the type of message you should leave. Or if even when you say thank you, they say, what do you do? You shouldn't try and do your 30-second elevator pitch into what do you do either, right? So you want to deliver them with a benefit, an immediate benefit that they're going to relate to, that will, and then in turn influence them to pass you on through to the person or to the decision maker. Okay? So to give you an idea, and I know some of you have heard me say this before, and I use it quite often. I would rather be recognized as somebody, who is that? I'm gonna call him back. At least I'm getting a call back than somebody who said something proper and sounded good, but I never get a call back, right? So if I'm listed, what do you do? I'm here to give everybody a raise. Wow, I'm gonna put this guy through. I need a raise. We all need a raise. I could use a raise, right? That gives you a benefit. What should I tell him? What should I tell him that you're here to do, Sid? I'm here to give everybody a raise, right? You know, if you're leaving a message, hey, this is Syd Michael. I have a great way to give everybody in your dealership a raise. Please call me back, 678-207-7629, right? Give them a benefit. Don't give them a feature and benefit. Just give them a benefit. That way they can relate with it, and you'll find yourself getting more callbacks and pass through the gatekeeper more often. A number two benefit. I help people become number one in their market. Sid, what is exactly you do? What should I tell them you're calling for? Or what do you do? I help people become number one in their market. Wow, I know we could use to be number one. I hear them bitching about not selling enough cars all the time. I know they hate that Toyota store down the street because they've been beating us every year, right? There's another one. There's one a little softer if you don't like the edginess of I'll give everyone a raise. Can everybody put in the question box? I want to see some other samples or suggestions. What do you see? What's a benefit you would say? What's something you could have, and I could read them out for everybody to hear. Let's see. Sherm says, I love it. Yeah, it's cool. Cheryl says she's been using it and it works very, very well. I create job security. That's a good one. Tony Joseph. Let's get proactive. I need to see some more. Mona says he needs me to help him with a problem. That's a way to do it. Matt Gorsuch, I bring buyers. Lou Silva says, I'm here to help you against your competition. I help you sell more cars. I install business intelligence to bring more profits. There you go. I deliver quantifiable growth. Good job, Terrence. I'm here to blow your phone up. They might take that two different ways. Brenda Robinson says, I'm the shit. What should I tell him you do, Brenda? Tell him I'm the shit. Mike Shipman says, I saw somebody on the lot Sunday. Do you want their phone number? Yeah, that'll get them to pick up the phone quick. I help small dealerships like yours crush their competitors. There you go. I think we've all been on enough calls with friends enough here that we can talk open, get a couple laughs out of some of this stuff. I'm here to help you beat your biggest competition. Good job, Todd. Here's a good one. Tom Matson said, Tom from Oregon said, when I tell you, when you tell him my name, he should know why I'm calling. That's good. That'll at least get you through. Unless she goes, he said when I tell you his name, you'll know why I'm calling. You're like, who the hell is this? I actually used to use yellow legal tablet and tape that on the doors on Sunday nights. That's good. Yeah, we did some stuff like that too. We would go to our competitors' dealerships and put our business cards on their cars on Sundays, back when nobody was open on Sundays. Unfortunately, they all are now. Tony Joseph said, I have his lab results. Why should I say you're calling? I got his lab results. That'll get a call back pretty quick. I'd definitely get somebody to open it. That's awesome. I've been cut cash in the front and back of the dealership. That's good. Dude, I like the lab results. That's hilarious, actually. I found his wallet in my wife's nightstand. Yeah, that'll get him. That'll get him on the phone pretty quick. Whenever we'd have a guy that was like talking with a really cute girl selling her car, we'd always go, "Hey man, your wife called, said to pick up some Pampers on the way home." You know, while they're trying to be Rico Suave. That's awesome. All right, so there's some good ones here. I guarantee all of these would get people on the phone pretty quick. Might even make them laugh a little bit. If they didn't have a sense of humor, well, screw them, right? You don't want to deal with them anyway. All right, cool. So you want to make it count. Give them a benefit and let them know the purpose of exactly what you're wanting to do. Does anybody else want to get on and just role play one time? I want to just do a role play of somebody calling in saying thank you, and then I'm going to object and say, what are you calling for? Anybody want to try that out? Anybody volunteer that we can get on to try this out a little bit? Mona, okay. All right, Mona. I like the stepping out, making it work. Mona was with us this weekend. She did a great job. You'll hear when Mona goes on live, Mona has got an awesome radio voice. So me and her will sound like the radio show.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Aha.
Well, welcome to the call, Mona.
Thank you.
You excited? You get home okay?
I got home absolutely no problem. It didn't start raining until I was on the exit to my neighborhood.
Nice.
Yeah, it was cool.
So do you live off 85 or do you got to get on 26?
26.
Yeah. Yeah, that 26
So I take the
is a bit
toll
long
road
sometimes.
across. Yeah, it's cool. Had such a great time.
I take that toll road sometimes too, but sometimes I miss it and I think, oh, I'll just go down the other way.
I know. They don't give you a lot of notice, and if you miss it, you missed it.
Yeah, it's definitely 45 minutes longer or so the other way.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So,
you know, in the South, you can't get here from there or can't get there from here. And so they put that little 3-mile toll road or whatever it is. Yeah, that it could make that much difference. It's amazing.
They're not getting rich on that toll road though, because I never passed any cars went on it.
No, and there's no trucks. It's like you can kind of halfway sleep for a little bit.
Yeah, right. So did you enjoy this weekend? Did you get a lot out of it?
I got so much out of it. You know, the first time we did this in April, I was so terrified. And this time, okay, I was scared. But by the time I left, I'll only be nervous next time. It won't even be the scared level. Well, so I'm, you get better as you go.
You're growing and getting better, and you're getting more practice, and you're getting better at what you do every day, and you're evolving. So that's why I felt like a lot of the people at the event this weekend all had evolved a lot from the first time. The first time everybody was terrified. They didn't know what to expect of me, and they didn't know if I was going to be a tyrant. I think for the most part we got just about everybody gave us positive feedback.
Oh,
people,
I imagine.
Some people got a little ruffled with the when we would act like we were talking to somebody else. But dealers do that. General managers do that. So that's real good, and that's what's going to happen. So
it's all good.
Well, Mona, I know you get. I know of anybody who was scared or nervous when we first started doing some of our role plays together in the coaching. Mona was terrified, absolutely scared to death. So for you to jump on this call, I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
You want to practice? We'll use simple names so you'll remember everything. Syd Michael will be the general manager. I want you to say, can I speak to Syd Michael? Thank you. And I'm going to say, what are you calling for? And you're going to say, I'm here to give everybody a raise, or whatever thing you want to say, and then we'll move it. We'll role play like that, okay?
Okie doke.
All right. Are you calling about the big sale? This is Rick Case Mitsubishi.
Well, hey, no, I'm not today. I have something else I need to take care of real quick. Can you put me through to Syd? He needs something I've got for him.
All right, let's try it again. Hey, this is Rick Case Mitsubishi. You calling about the big sale?
Well, hey, it's a good idea, but no, not this time. Can you put me through to Syd?
Syd Michael, thank you.
Syd Michael, thank you. Okay.
What are you calling for, Mona?
Well, he's got a problem he needs my help with, and so if I could just go through, I'll be through pretty soon.
You got to be more. You got to be more like. Committed.
Don't hem and haw.
Don't him and haw at all, right? Because you're busy, right? So I'm going to role play with you, all right?
Okay.
So you say, thank you for the big sale, blah, 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 right?
Okay.
Okay, go.
Rick Case Mitsubishi, were you calling? God, I can't even do that right. Rick Case Mitsubishi, are you calling about our big sale today?
No, unfortunately, I'm not. Can I speak to Syd Michael? Thank you.
Well, what shall I say you're calling about, please?
I'm here to give everybody in that building a raise.
Me too?
That's right. You too.
Okay, just a moment.
Yes, ma'am. Now, you did great, Mona. I appreciate you jumping on and risking it for us in front of everybody.
Well, see, now there's an example. If you're scared to get on with the next one, you got to do better than I did, right?
Yeah, you did great. You did fine. It's nerve-wracking sometimes knowing that 50-something people are listening to you and
oh God, I thought it was 4. If it was 50, I never would have done it.
Mona, I
Thanks,
appreciate
Sid.
you, and I hope to see you again soon, okay?
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you, Mona.
Bye.
All right, cool. So, everybody gets the gist and the point of how to do it. I want you to practice 10 times a day for the next 2 days. Our next call's on Thursday at 4 o'clock. I don't care if you're Mike Shipman, who has sold 1 million people in his life. If it's me, Syd Michael, I've closed thousands of deals in my life. I don't care if you're new or experienced. No matter what, I want you to practice 10 times a day in the mirror. I want your wife or husband to say, "What are you doing?" And they're going to see that you're committed. They're going to see that you have bought in and that you're going to do what it takes to learn how to get past the gatekeeper. Okay? Everybody agree and promise me you can do that? Just put a quick remark in the question box telling me that you're committed, that you're ready to do it. BJ, promise. Good. BJ, I'm going to hold you to it. I want everybody to commit. All right? It wouldn't be a call without me finishing up with this. I've told and asked people before in other webinars. You've seen this on some other webinars that you've been on with me, but I want you to ask yourself right now when you get off this call, are you being a wolf or a sheep? Are you out setting the pace? Are you standing in the field alone? You're willing to get criticized, laughed at, and made fun of because your conviction of what you're doing is so right in your own mind. You're willing to give it all, to give the ultimate price for it. You're willing to lay it out there in front of everybody the way Mona did, just getting on our call with us, okay? Are you a sheep? Are you sitting back just collecting products, waiting for Barry or Roger or are the pop stars, one of those guys that never been in a dealership in their life, to come up with some hypothetical product that quite possibly could maybe work, right? Are you want to be a sheep with the rest of them, where they all just kind of sit around and exist and do the bare minimum to make it through life, right? I want you to wake up tomorrow and tell yourself you're a wolf, okay? That's it. I'll see you on Thursday. Let's rock and roll. We're going to keep it quick and sweet. Practice 10 times a day, and I appreciate everybody giving me your time today. And let's move forward. Thank you.